Greetings everyone, please give me to make sure everything's set on up. Looks like everything is booting on up. Give me a moment to activate the live chat windows and turn on macros. And that's all good. That's all good. Looks like everything's good there. Give me a moment to check my other computer. And looks like everything is good to go. So, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Gerd here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Small on the south side is the Blue Moon Olaf, we got Copper 96. Small on the north side is the Orange Star Eagle, we got Gimme Candy. Go ahead, gimme. Either way, this is a Fog of War map, 3 bases, 1 airport. Both players do start with recon to spot that airport. As well as both players do start with a black boat on the opposing's pawn, which help delay the capture of the seaport. The seaport does have a shore next to it, so you can't necessarily deploy battleships out to go push forward ever so slightly forward. Both of these COs have pretty basic day-to-day powers, not affected by snow, versus areas do get additional firepower and defense. It's also not super impactful. I don't know why, it just seems like it should be quite nice, but it doesn't feel super impactful. Then again, battlecopters tend to get shot down pretty easily by anti-airs. It's not really a big contention. Well, it looks like both these recons are getting pretty close to each other, just out of vision range of each other. We have artillery down south by Olaf. Eagle should have spotted that recon and go into the forest there. Of course, he can take time to take a shot at the infantry unit, but he will be receiving a retaliation shot from that recon. It looks like Eagle goes for an artillery piece as well. We do have an APC down south as well. Maybe try and go to this comm tower. Let's get a good shot there. Granted, recon versus recon, not exactly the most high damaging conflict. Artillery head went down south, was in vision range of the recon there, so he has an idea that there's one deployed in the field passing by. Artillery does strike the pipe seam now. And it does take a shot against another infantry unit there, just being oh so annoying. Hits that infantry unit and that one as well. This one, of course, was interrupted by a turn artillery in range of the city. Got another tank infantry. We have a mech here, but the APC is way over here. Artillery takes another shot against the pipe seam, which the mech could be used to finish it off, right? Actually, don't remember how much damage a mech does to a pipe seam. Should be at least 19%, right? And does take out the recon, no problem. Artillery takes out the infantry unit with the support of the recon, spotted by the infantry unit there. And this capture can be interrupted. Of course, you can't see this infantry unit has 5 capture progress remaining and still not interrupted. At least any further. Tank, artillery, and infantry. Takes the pipe seam now, tank into the center. And the artillery piece did take out the pipe seam, not the mech. We do a double tank and infantry unit there. If he really wants to send a tank up this canal now, it would be better to pull one out here than this one here, because it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2. By the way, looks like double tank heading over to the west rather than the east. If we need an infantry unit inside this forest there, trying to flip that property here. Tank enters the forest there. I believe it's out of vision range of everything, so that should be good for an ambush against this tank here. Battlecopter infantry and artillery. So first battlecopter on field. Interrupts the capture. Takes out the capturing squad. This tank probably should not advance his way forward. He sees now two tanks there. And that tank pushed forward in not so great position. Does spot the artillery at the exact wrong moment. So he will interrupt the capture, but he will receive artillery. Eagle, of course, can sack the infantry there to interrupt the capture here. Probably don't need to either repair off the black boat, or you can load inside the black boat and eject it somewhere else. And that artillery does get a strike there, and finish off the tank there. Gets a first strike there while at it as well. So pretty good engagements there by Olaf. Takes out one tank, knocks out another one. Nice early lead when it comes to fights like that. Avoids the forest there because he knows there's a recon there. Don't hit the recon. Doesn't leave that one with one health remaining. Guess it would have been a good idea to sack the 2 health one into it. Oh well. Decides just engage and not interrupt the capture. He doesn't have a vision of it, so that makes sense. Anti-air infantry tank and anti-air infantry tank. That's what am I thinking. Eagle earns from 96,000. Olaf earns from 973 with his day-to-day income. It will be up to at least 90, so Eagle has a small advantage at the moment. Nothing too significant though. 19,000 versus 18,000 income. Inside that infantry in there, tank lurking in the woods. Mech gets a first strike and knocks out that recon there. Very nice. Problem having this tank engaging this tank. It will be in range of the mech. So it may be better not to send this tank into the fight with the mech nearby. Does get some good strikes up here. Anti-air recon, double recon. Takes a shot on the pipe seam, 19 health remaining. Both sides lost the coin flip. Recon does take it out. Resupplies that infantry unit there. Olaf has kept the comm tower, so got one comm tower advantage in favor of Olaf. Battlecraft hits the unit on top of the comm tower and trying to hit that battlecraft. I thought it was in range right here. But he has a vision of this mech. He should not advance forward the tank into the tank. What's around the mech? I actually want to go straight for the mech there. We're going to rely on the 3-star defense with a tank in reserve. Which, if this tank takes a shot, it will probably take a shot on the missile platform, so it can retaliate onto it. But, yeah, of course, be a bit more exposed. If he takes a shot from this road, he, of course, can retaliate it from. So it's a bit depending what Olaf does down here is what Eagle will do. He has a tank nearby, but doesn't find perfect coverage, to say the least. Double hits that tank there, finds the other artillery piece. Eagle's been doing quite well with his artillery so far this game. Medium tank infantry. And does throw around the infantry there. Capture the seaport. While I send this infantry down to here to start catching the comm tower the following turn. Here's the pipe seam now. Artillery strikes the tank that's not on any defense stars. And he has had a vision of this artillery piece there, so he knows he sent an infantry unit, 2 infantry into its range, 3 infantry units into its range. Of course, it can only shoot one of them. Tank does hit the tank, but he is... that was not a good shot. He knew that he was sending this tank into range of this artillery piece. Now there's a mech in range as well, so that was a relatively poor move. He's had... yeah. Sure, sending an infantry unit into range of artillery is somewhat fine, especially when you're trying to just finish off a tank. But sending a tank into the range of artillery is not great, particularly when there's now also, he spotted too late, a mech also in range. It was just a bad move to send a tank into range of the artillery piece either way, in my opinion. Sure, it did hit another tank, but I don't think it was worth it. Wounded tank does finish off. Mech will not take a shot, which is probably fine. If you wanted mech to take a shot, he could simply pull back the tank to the city here, or something a little farther back. And then get the mech on top of the city to take out the tank, what was left of it. Mech does take a shot against infantry unit there. A little bit not great, since he is going to be ranging of other infantry units. Does 6 shots against the black boat. Do not have a battlecopter, anti-air, infantry. Does not spot that anti-air, so that anti-air can easily take out the battlecopter if he has vision of it. He can at least send forward this one infantry unit forward in order to interrupt the capture. Battlecopter does pull back. He does have vision of his tank. He could try to charge towards a tank. And above our cast of vision actually would be a good idea, relatively good idea, but he does not have cast of vision. Right now, Olaf's very close to Winter Fury, which it looks like getting pretty well desynced from the Lightning Strike, which is actually good for Eagle. You don't want the Lightning Strike to follow after Winter Fury because snow hurts the Lightning Strike quite horribly. Interrupts that capture quite severely there. And up north also, Olaf has both comm towers as well. Olaf ends turn of 132,000, Eagle starts turn 124, so Olaf has a nice little advantage. Nothing critical at this moment. So when it comes to superpowers, who knows what's going to happen? Well, we know what Olaf's going to happen. He's going to just make it cold and do 2 damage to everybody. Eagle, it's very situational. He maybe at this point in time should start eyeing for some more extra recons to help spot for the Lightning Strike. Plus, recons of Lightning Strike are not half bad due to the high mobility, able to strike multiple infantry units. There's another round to the black boat. And this APC is actually getting pretty low in fuel. 19 fuel, that's actually pretty low. Plus, just overall rotating units around. Infantry. He's saving something big. What does this Black Bomb band? Stealth is not. So I'm not sure what Olaf is going to be eyeing. Because Lightning Strike doesn't worry about any global damage, the double turn's always a little bit finicky. Because even artillery can get some good work done with the Lightning Strike. Winter Fury is now available. With some good amount of damage into that artillery piece there. Anti-air is going to be range of the battlecopter. Another mention of snow afterwards, which just simply snare it. He will not be able to get his superpower this turn. Oh, does get trapped there, which is not great. There's a tank or mech nearby. And if the mech nearby, he can easily get shot from the forest. Another mention of Winter Fury may just outright let him wipe it out. Recon, battlecopter, infantry, so goes for a full spin. Winter Fury has now been deployed on the field. Gets in range of the artillery piece, which is not going to be great. This could be a good chance of a Lightning Strike next turn, but like I said beforehand, the snow would slow him down. Looks like the mech did not finish off that tank in one shot. Gets a battlecopter there. Lightning Strike's now available. Gets good hits there. Artillery in range of the medium tank. Does get trapped by 1 health infantry unit. Wait, what? There's... Olaf goes for battleship. He is trying to lock down this comm tower. This comm tower has 10 capture progress remaining. A battleship. I don't think that's a good idea. This could be a good turn for a Lightning Strike. The artillery piece can at least advance in range of the battleship and start shelling it. Maybe multiple artillery pieces could charge forward and start shelling it. This one could get right here as well and double shell it. How much damage does an artillery piece does to a battleship on top of seaport? I have no idea. Fair enough damage, I would say. And with the medium tank in range as well, so yeah, this feels like a pretty good turn for a Lightning Strike. Get some good strikes there. Anti-air strikes infantry unit there. Moving forward, infantry units there. Black Bolt repairs the infantry unit there. Get a good shot there. It's a good hit from the recon. Battlecopter slowly advance way forward, which is fine enough. Artillery charging to the reins of battleship, so he should be able to shell it for at least 6 points of damage. Anti-air will take out the recon. Runs the infantry there. Luckily, it's just 2 health. Going to be using the battlecopter as well. Puts down the 3 health, which is quite a significant amount of damage there. There's some outlying units there. Tank will go on to the battlecopter or anti-air. Anti-air takes out the mech. Battlecopter will strike the medium tank. Wait. Did he strike this artillery before the double turn? Hopefully he did, but I don't think he did, actually. Pretty sure that was already in range. Okay, he may have already done. Sorry, my offhand math is not exactly great at the moment. Does hit that medium tank quite hard and seems to be this battleship. And looks like he ends turn of 112,000 fuel. All starts from 93 of day-to-day funds, which is just only 13,000 because battleships are expensive repair. Olaf is behind. Does have to worry about additional 10% offense defense on Eagle's units as well this turn. Here we're checking out the battlecopter hits the artillery. Battlecopter infantry. 104,000 versus 82. And we'll take out the anti-air. Anti-air will strike a battlecopter for good damage. Recon hits the infantry unit there. Finish off the 1 health tank. And both these artillery pieces are quite wounded, so they're going to have a bit of trouble taking out the battleship. Battlecopter going to also hit it as well, but probably a good idea to send the 8 health battlecopter into full health battlecopter. Merge there. Takes out that unit there. Artillery strikes the battleship, puts it down to, excuse me, 1 health. Infantry, anti-air, and battlecopter. And Olaf's actually pretty close to another Winter Fury since he's been constantly striking that battleship. Does not take out this artillery piece. This battleship will survive. Yeah, looks like nothing's left to take out the battleship. Good damage up here onto Eagle. Both sides have taken quite a beating. And there's a very close, good chance for Winter Fury. Goes for infantry tank. Eagle's turn. Olaf's likely getting his Winter Fury this next turn. Recon, anti-air, and tank. Winter Fury immediately activated. To be honest, Eagle didn't have too much on the field. It made an argument to actually hold off a turn, but of course, with Castle Vision, you don't really, with Fog of War, you don't really see how much value the opponent has to field. Eagle's now down to 66 versus Olaf's 90,000, which he only has 8,000 left in the bank because the battleship is eating all its repairs, not to mention everything else. Medium tank, artillery, anti-air, both sides just been having nothing left on the field. And everything's been cleaned up on the right flank. So it's like Olaf will maintain control of both comm towers. Olaf's rewarded with multiple infantry units there to capture some properties. Artillery, infantry. Olaf in turn from 98,000. Eagle starts turn 71, so Eagle's about 1 turn behind, but his day-to-day repairs are not great. Still one despicable neutral property left on the field. 21,000 versus 20,000. Of course, Olaf is capturing up 2 properties right now. One of which is a flip. Artillery, infantry, tank. It's think there twice. And it's one little bit of point damage here to help deny the capture of the despicable neutral property. Meteor, infantry. Great shot there. Does take out battlecopter. Takes another battlecopter. I think as well, Eagle doesn't really have army on the field to support a lightning strike. There's a good strike there onto that artillery piece. This battlecopter is reigning supreme. Infantry heading down south. Maybe better to keep it along the shoreline so get one last repair before catching up the column tower. Tank infantry. More tanks probably going to be for the lightning strike piece I'm preparing for. But of course, he says to be careful about a battleship. And we do now have a lightning strike available for Eagle. Infantry, tank. Get some good strikes there. You may go for a lightning strike this turn. Interesting capture denies the despicable neutral. And this recon still exists in this region, providing Olaf some good scouting. Takes out that anti-air there with the battleship. Remember, so the battleship reaches all this far, so it does provide good coverage, though a little bit landlocked. Interrupts, or not an interrupt, gets some shots there. Takes out the recon. Takes a number of infantry units there. And if Olaf wants to dissuade Eagle from going for a lightning strike for a turn, he can always pop a regular blizzard rather than Multi-Fury, because blizzard of course will greatly slow down everything that Eagle has, greatly reducing the effectiveness of the lightning strike. Anti-air tank infantry. Triple tanks. And now he's at 22,000 income, so if he has no repairs, he can deploy out 3 tanks per turn. Eagles at 19. Make that 20. Takes good hits there, takes out all those infantry units there. And Eagle does have a good core of tanks over here. Olaf is very close to a blizzard. And so when it comes to Olaf's blizzard, he can't necessarily charge forward in order to get it like other CO powers like Eagle, or at least when fighting Eagle, because if the 2 front lines are smashed in together, then the reduced mobility from the snow will have very little effect. ATR tank. I have a feeling we're going to see the lightning strike this turn. Does get some good strikes. He's sending battle copies in range to ATR, so yeah, we're probably going to see the lightning strike. Charge forward with a good amount of tanks. Eagle gets good spotting there. Of course, there is a forest blocking this path, so you will have to spot there before pushing forward. There's the lightning strike. Number of units, one units being picked off. Starting to flip that comm tower. Olaf's been at 2 comm towers this entire game. Finish off those tanks there. Does hit the infantry in there. Managed to spot the hidden tank. Winter Fury has been immediately summoned, which will greatly weaken Eagle's position. Not a minute. Right now, the value is 106 versus 110. So Olaf has 1 turn income advantage, but this battleship does eat a lot of his available units on the field, which can be a little bit deceiving when versus all those tanks and artillery on the field. Does get hit there on that AT artillery, but these artillery are starting to get in range. It's the recon, and now the artillery takes a hit on against the infantry unit there. Does strike the infantry unit there. Yep, it seems like pretty close. It feels like Eagle's in a little bit better position, because while Olaf has more value in the field, this battleship just is deceptive. And Eagle's done a good job of not repairing up this black boat. It's down to 1 health and very little fuel. So next turn he may want to start trying to get rid of repair to get a bit of refuel. Does get trapped there. Good strike on these tanks. Good counterattack by Olaf, so he's actually starting to swing quite aggressively back his direction, thanks to his good core of tanks over here. So yeah, I think I may have spoke too soon. Eagle's definitely on the back foot. Got tank, infantry, recon, battlecopter. Because right now, Eagle's one needs to fall back. There's too many tanks in the region. He only has 1 healthy or somewhat healthy artillery of 2 somewhat healthy tanks. Though he has re-secured a comm tower, something he did not have this entire game. Finish off the tanks there. Does get a good strike on that tank. And does get trapped in his tank. Takes out the battlecopter. Does get an anti-air there from the artillery. Anti-air. Does dismount the infantry unit there. Battlecopter, infantry, anti-air. Down to 134,077. Doesn't send another unit in range of artillery. Battlecopter gets a good strike there onto that tank. Battlecopter just finished off the anti-air. Artillery just lurking in the woods, with the other one getting repaired and rearmed. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Good strike on these infantry units there. Eagle will start to lose quite a bit in the center. Eagle's getting pretty close to the lightning strike, but he doesn't have enough assets in the center of war to lightning strike. Now got a Neo tank and a handful of infantry units in the field. 22,000 versus 20,000 income. Does strike the artillery piece there. And does get trapped by a 3 health infantry unit there. That's not great. Tank recon. Anti-air does strike the battlecopter, knocking it out. Takes out the other battlecopter as well. Eagle does have an anti-air way up north to gauge this battlecopter. Lightning strike's not available. There could be Winter Fury this turn. It's getting extremely close. Needs another 50 funds. He's, yeah, the recon, the artillery, and there's the Winter Fury. And funny thing is, well, if we go back a little bit, 64,000. There's not much left on the field for Eagle. Now down to 48. He has Lightning Strike available, but there simply does not have enough assets in some of the map. Battlecopter can range this tank there, so can't get double strike. Not to mention these tanks here. Yep, he got 50 funds off, but he got it. He had just enough steam. It boiled enough snow into steam to keep it going. Let's get some good strikes there. Artillery, artillery. So that tank there. Merge there to get a little bit extra firepower going. 67 versus 130. Tank gets good strike there. Anti-air strikes for recon. Takes out the unit there. But this tank will perhaps survive. Good strike there on top of his own city. Olaf has a number of tanks here severely wounded. Repairs that. Black belt's down to 9 fuel. Infantry, infantry, infantry. And his turn is 69,000 in the field versus 116. And managed to get a recon hit that battlecopter. It feels like it's heavily going in favor of Olaf right now in this game. Tank, infantry, recon, and battlecopter. Finish off the anti-air, artillery advance to the woods. Finish off the tank there for recon. Tank hits for recon. He needs this anti-air over here to provide some coverage towards that battlecopter. It can reach this far. Battlecopter, recon, infantry, infantry. Neo tank finally perhaps get a shot on in. And does avoid the artillery piece. Anti-air, infantry, infantry, battlecopter. 146,000 for just 61. Anti-air, battlecopter, infantry, infantry. Does hit that tank there. Takes out the artillery piece, and the other two artillery pieces are out of range. Right now, Eagle apologies to have to keep these artillery units back in order to get the Neo tank in range. And hopefully the Neo tank does go in range, because it's the only right now he has to do with the Neo tank. It's those artillery pieces. It's that infantry unit twice. Does use the battlecopter to hit the Neo tank, which is a good trade. Loses the coin flip. Artillery advances to the forest there, which actually may have been not spotted there. There's nothing in vision range to spot that pathing there. So the artillery advance to the woods actually may have been successful. No artillery in recon. Gets trapped there, hits the infantry unit. Neo tank takes out that unit there. One artillery piece is in range of the Neo tank. Battlecopter gets struck. The other artillery piece is in range of a regular tank. So Eagle's going to have a good turn next turn. But he is taking beating this turn. Battlecopter, recon, recon, recon. Looks like Olaf's going to try to reconnoiter the entire map. Artillery strikes the Neo tank. Infantry gets hit twice. Artillery strikes the tank there. Wounded battlecopter falls back, hits the other battlecopter there. And does manage to gun down that tank. Tank, infantry, infantry. Tank, recon. It's that infantry unit. Sort of pulls back a little bit there. Infantry, tank, infantry, battlecopter. Insert 104,000. Olaf has 169 of Zeta income. He still has a severe advantage. If the wounded battlecopter hits the infantry there, though that AT is now in range of some artillery. Forest is on top of forest, but that should be easy to spot. Black boat's down to 4 fuel. He actually may sink the black boat by denying fuel, which probably is perfectly fine rather than spend funds to get it repaired. Hits that ATR twice. Tank, tank, tank. Another Winter Fury is almost available. Winter Fury gets summoned. Falling Eagle down to 87,000 from 111. Oops. Didn't pop the snow. I'm going to try a bit of refresh, or maybe try that again. There it goes. Apparently rewinding sort of bugged up the game. There's a lot of good hits there, though a lot of units enter range artillery. Eagle's losing a lot. He has less than half his opponent's value in the field, which is horrible. Artillery is in range of the Neo tank once again. He does have access to lightning strike, so he probably has one lightning strike to turn this game around, but it's going to be very difficult, I would say. There's just so much stuff inside the map. He's actually lacking 8 here. This battlecopter may be able to range one battlecopter, but that's about it. He, of course, doesn't have clear line of sight to it. Strikes the Neo tank. It's down to 1 fuel at the moment. So next turn, that black boat will be sunk, and there's no way to resupply since the seaport has been fully captured. Oh, he didn't have money to repair. He did not have money to repair the battlecopter. He has 400 funds at the moment. Takes the Neo tank, takes the recon. Tank interrupts capture, stops capture. The snow is slowing down the lightning strike and hits the resign button. Yep, it felt like Olaf had a pretty good grasp, though he was falling behind, but he did get a good turnaround with his reinforcement tanks down here. Either way, that's Grade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Oh, I forgot to do a local recording in that game. Oops. Well, guess whoever's watching this live will have their own game that will not be uploaded to YouTube. Either way, I need a moment to grab a drink from nearby. Please give me a moment. There's one right there. There we go. On to the next replay. It should do. Yep, sometimes I forget to hit the local record button. Eagle was done once he started hiding the corner. Very likely. I'm sort of surprised Olaf's battleship was actually successful. I thought it was a big waste, but it may have been one of the game. I can't really tell, honestly. By the way, let's get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Small on the top left side as the gray sky Alash, we got X-Old Man in all capital. Well, on the south side, as the Blue Moon Kindle, we got Nico, or Nikopol. I wanted to say Nico, but I was trying to pronounce the last 3 letters. There's no consonant or vowel there, so Nikopol. That's what I'm guessing how to pronounce her. Either way, let's get started. This is a 3-base map, 1 airport, 1 seaport, which is meant to resupply the black boat. Kindle versus Lash is a little bit interesting dynamic. Lash Course does provide 10% defense per terrain star, while Kindle does provide plus 40% firepower from urbanized terrain. In short, Lash does get 30% firepower from her cities, like as good counterpart to Kindle, and a little bit more firepower on everything else, while less firepower from the urbanized terrain stars. But let's be frank, Kindle has a good power and an excellent superpower. Lash has a not so great power and a okay to reasonable superpower. But her day-to-day is generally still better, since it'll probably be a constant 10% firepower with all the planes and potentially some extras. While Kindle, Lash still has to play around those urbanized terrain. Being on top of it can hurt her. Being next to it can hurt her even more. Looks like Kindle's gone for double recon, so Lash goes for triple recon. Kindle goes for a tank up here, sees the recon, does capture this corner property, and does spot the corner property now. So which could give her a conclusion the fact there's an infantry on this forest there. Also does deny the shore there, so Black Bolt have trouble for dropping anything off if there was anything in range too, or to be loaded up into it. Recons interrupt 2 captures there. Does get trapped there, but I'm pretty sure there's... Oh, no, there is an infantry unit loaded up into it. Which, speaking of which, I could probably... There we go. Now you guys should be able to see it. Or, I thought there was an infantry unit there. I thought I highlighted it. Emperor's going crazy. We have a mech, tank, and infantry. Drops another capture there, so Lash is maintaining great field control up north. Kindle has good field control as well. Both players gone for double recon rush. Now Kindle's tank is heading up north. Tank, mech, infantry. Interrupts the capture of the comm tower. And just gets on top of the city there, which denied the bonus damage that she would receive from this tank onto this one there. Plus 40% fire day, 5% plus 40% firepower. 4 capture progress remaining on this comm tower. Did not have enough money to resupply the infantry there. She purchased everything and then did resupply action, so couldn't get an extra health point there. You have a mech dropped off in that forest as well. Freeze the recon, heads down south for the winter. Mech can get a strike on this infantry in there, which would be great, honestly. And we got another mech being loaded up into here. Tank gets in the forest, just trying to lurk in the woods. Recon does spot it, and tank does get on top of the city. Can be a bit of a problem there. With a tank atop the city, Urban Blight could wound it to make it easy pickings. However, does not have enough energy for Urban Blight. Infantry mech gets dropped off north. We have another mech here. Recon, infantry, and battlecopter. Insert of 82,000 field. Lash is 67, so she's about a half a turn or a full turn behind at the moment. And getting down south. Kindle does have a tank nearby. Mech can get inside of the forest here. 1 health recon is still going to be very useful as a scouting unit, not to mention 4 health recon as well. There, the anti-air is pushed way forward. Battlecopter may get a good strike in somewhere, but the anti-air is fast approaching. Does take out a couple units there. Does have vision of that mech there. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. tank infantry. Does hit that infantry unit twice. Still some units loaded inside of this black boat, a single infantry unit. And, oh, looks like a mech there. Piloting stuff is never really great in caster vision mode. Does get a booster strike onto that mech, which is very nice to get. Infantry, recon, tank, and battlecopter. Hits a tank twice. A recon will draw the capture there. Urban Blight's available, so there could be a lot of boost damage from some of these properties. Takes the battlecopter there. Urban Blight can soften the anti-air, then the mech can get a good strike onto it. Then battlecopter can take a strike from the city. Of course, got another anti-air over here in the forest though. Does get some good hits there. Mech does wound the tank there, and it does get a good hit in general. Lash taking a lot of good engagement so far this turn. And start from 97 on the field. Kindle starts the turn of 91. 20,000 income versus 19,000. Does pop the Urban Blight, softening up some of these units, such as this infantry unit and that anti-air up here. This infantry unit as well. Does hit double recon and infantry there, so Lash skimped down the spending. I think probably fearing for Urban Blight. And she can get something a bit more nice next turn. Mech takes out the recon. Thought it was going to be, oh, that's a different mech. This mech will go for the anti-air. Does not take it out. Infantry unit there. Will take it out. Recon will get a boost strike to the infantry unit there, while doing about 120% damage. Battlecopter hits the tank there, out of range of the anti-air. It's a good hit there and there. Suffer that unit there. It's trying to capture that despicable neutral property there. Tank falls back. Battlecopter hits the tank there. And now we do have a full prime tactics. Perfect movement's always quite nice, particularly for the recons. And she does go with the full prime tactics. Perfect movement, double defense stars. Battlecopter gets a good strike there. Of course, Lash's battlecopters do not get any benefits, unlike Kindle's. Hits that unit twice. Hits this mech for plus 40% firepower. Hits the battlecopter. Infantry, tank, battlecopter, infantry. Mech gets a good strike there on the tank. Well, what's left of it. Another mech down here. Got a mech chain from the bottom factory. We got recon, battlecopter, and infantry as well. Ends her of 102,000. Lash starts her turn of 83, so she's still about a full turn behind in value. Hits the recon. Hits the tank there. Interrupts the capture of the despicable neutral property. Both these cities here, as counterparts, are still despicably neutral. Kindle does have one property captured. This is the one city advantage right there. It's the recon, takes the mech. Recon gets hits twice, now twice. And start capturing up the city of a one health engineer there. I believe in you. There's a good number of mechs on the field, that's been for sure. There's actually been a fair amount of mechs this entire game. Usually it's not too much. Urban Life holding field, so now that's one health infantry units, now down to 1% health. Oh, that's a boosted strike there. Plus 80% firepower bonus onto that tank, medium tank. So overall, a lot of the effects of Urban Blight's not super great, just okay. Biggest thing was the battlecopter getting boosted strike there on that medium tank. Takes out that 1% HP unit. Answer 112 versus 85. Does get some good strikes there. Does not take the battle copter. Tank, infantry. Infantry mech, recon heading up north as well. Does not take out the infantry unit on top of the con tower. Gets another boost strike from the city as well, getting some good amount of damage there. You know, has more battlecopters pushing their way forward. We've got 2 healthy battlecopters with a lash over here. Got another mech, tank battlecopter and recon. Does get a good strike there. We do now have another terrain tactics available, and the flip city up here being flipped. And this despicable neutral property will be captured. Pulls a healthy battlecopter, booster strike on that battlecopter, and actually does not capture the city there. Decides to take out the other battlecopter as well, which is probably a good call, though it does hurt. And the income will be equal. We'll try to capture the despicable neutral property. The mech nearby, if possible, able to pull off the infantry unit there, put a mech on top of it, and get a nice boost strike there. Goes from Urban Blight. Don't know if that's super great, but this medium tank should be at 1% health. And starts capturing up the column tower there. So maybe she did the Urban Blight early this turn just to perhaps get it secured. Oh, yeah, probably that as well, but able to secure up the comm tower, I think, is probably the bigger part why she's going for Urban Blight. Because capturing the comm tower, because it was at, what, 2% health? Or 2 health? Putting down to 1% health to be one-shotted and start capturing this turn as well. Could be very nice, though she's still worried about the recon interrupting, but still. Tank will strike tank. Oh, prime tactics. Delayed prime tactics. Does get a good hit there on this guy here. Puts it down to 5 health. Hits the mech as well. So Kendall's basically lost everything up here. Battlecopter, infantry. Saves 4,000 funds. Pulls back, gets boost strike onto that battlecopter, taking it out. This recon has extra defense stars. Now on top of the beach, so cannot land anything there. Saw that infantry unit there. So our captain is properly slowly got a tank here, which does get spotted. Nothing to hit it though. And this tank is pretty safe. So this thing just may need to fall back. Could try to push forward, take out the recon with an 8 health tank. A double mech here for reinforcement. That can be very nice. Mechs do punch well above weight. They counter everything, but they get countered by everything. So Kendall's going to try to just be cost effective up here. Delays one of his mechs, and with also battlecopters. Striking the anti-air is going to be a little bit difficult for mechs, but if she can, that could be great to allow the battlecopters more free reign. Or rain down freely. In which that might actually happen. She has to hit this mech with one of these tanks. Because this mech is a boost strike on this anti-air. Oh, just gets parks on top of it. An Urban Blight may be able to soften up that tank there so the mech can get a boost strike onto the anti-air to allow these battlecopters to have free reign over this entire region. So somehow striking that mech or anti-air probably should be higher priority. This one can't get a strike on that tank there. Not hitting the recon. Taking out the recon could be quite nice as well, but somehow shooting that ATR, I'd say, is going to be very important. Urban Blight is somewhat close, but really, not really. Battlecopter gets a strike there on the tank. Tank will finish it off. Battlecopter gets a strike on the tank. Battlecopter gets a good strike on the tank. Trying to capture that comm tower with a 5 health infantry unit. Again, puts the 1 health battlecopter in the way of the black boat. medium tank infantry. Multiple mechs walking the way towards the black boat. Double taps there, so it will not be able to strike the anti-air. So one of those battlecopters will be going down, but will be in range of that mech. But that mech can easily be hit. Blight's now available. Yeah, I'm thinking. I wonder if the. Never mind. The mech took out the recon there. Hits that mech twice. It gets on top of the con tower once again. And this mech maybe will finish off that tank there would be very nice. She could try to save it for high society. Does go for Urban Blight. Boost strike on the infantry unit there, easily taking it out. Battlecopter strikes tank, tank strikes tank, tank strikes anti-air. Mech does not finish off the tank there, but does not get taken out there as well. Both these units probably getting close down to 1% health. This tank can still go towards this tank, but of course has to risk one fog over tile. Battlecopter falls back, tank just goes to the woods, and a couple mechs get dropped off as well. That's probably just a safe option. Tank, anti-air, and another mech. Kindle was going for a heavy number of mechs, that's for sure. Match is pretty close to another Prime Tactics. It's that infantry unit up north. Their last despicable neutral property is starting to be captured. Takes up the mech there. Mech can finish off that 3 health infantry unit there. Just hopefully it spots it first. Yeah, this infantry unit can also take it out as well. With some good hits. Does take out that infantry unit there. Medium tank heading up north. Goes for infantry unit there. Tank interrupts the capture. Hits the black boat. Battlecopter, anti-air, and another mech. He spies the battlecopter. Battlecopter strikes tank. Kindle does have a full health battlecopter nearby, and a lot of wounded battlecopters as well. Infantry, 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 and battlecopter. Next turn could probably see a Prime Tactics. It's one of the battlecopters. Finish off that battlecopter there. Urban Blight summon. Will be softened the infantry units there and the battlecopter and this tank. And she actually does capture this comm tower there, so Kindle has both comm towers. Battlecopter, anti-air, infantry, battle mech. Prime Tactics now activated. Kindle starts turn ended her turn at 128,000. Last starts her turn of 87. Anti-air take out the whatchamacallit? The battlecopter is at 8 health. With a booster strike from the city. It's that tank twice. It's the anti-air or it's couple battlecopters. Does not take out the tank after thrice. It's the mech. It's the mech. Medium tank does get spotted there, so that medium tank can strike this regular tank here. Mech can strike this recon. It's the tank there. To finish off, or yep, we use the medium tank there. Does not finish off there. Finish that recon off, hits the anti-air, does not knock it out, thinks there's extra defense stars. Actually has to have 5 health remaining, so went from 8 health down to 5, so the extra defense stars really came in handy. Also wonders why this tank's also still alive as well. The double defense stars come in handy. Another mech, infantry, and medium tank. Does hit that anti-air twice. It's this battlecopter. Recon Artillery Infantry. Right now, Lash is pretty good grasp on this side of the map. We'll take a hit there from 8th year, though. This battlecopter is down to 1 health. Finish off those units there. Interrupts the capture. Interrupts another capture there. Does pop an Urban Blight. Tank, infantry, and battlecopter. And 110,000 versus 71. Both players doing quite well on the weak side. Trying to flip this comm tower back. 19,000 versus 22. So this project is despicably neutral. Neo tank by Lash. Infantry recon, plus do you think she deployed it now? Turn after Urban Blight. Neo tank still poses a threat to the Neo tank, so it's not a perfect counter everything. And with our Urban Blight, it could be severely weakened. Recon, 8th year, and recon. Captures another number of properties. ATR recon tank. Recon tank, recon, and battlecopter. ATR does get trapped. ATR recon infantry. Medium tank does not spot the medium tank. And of course, this medium tank is top of a city. Neo tank's probably in range, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Neo tank's out of range of the medium tank. There's good hits there. This despicable neutral property has been secured. Trying to flip multiple properties, 20,000 versus 20,000, so Kindle still has ever so slight advantage. Goes for triple tanks this turn. Hits the infantry unit twice, and takes out the battlecopter. Hits the tank there with the artillery. Finish off there. Hits the medium tank twice, and now thrice. That medium tank's effectively knocked out, and there's not much over here that Lash can stop. Well, Kindle can do to stop the Neo tank. Medium tank's still a bit of an issue there. She has a couple of a couple tanks. Almost there's one 8-year and soon to be 2 8-years, so Kindle needs to really refocus down south. He is making good progress up north, including capturing multiple properties. Interrupts that capture there, interrupts that capture there. Medium tank takes out the infantry unit there, and booster strike there. Couple hits on these infantry units there. Does get a good hit on the battlecopter. Infantry tank, battlecopter, and commits base skip. And serve 155,000. Lashes out of 23, but she has a great presence down south. Both these battlecopters go down this turn. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that one's currently in range. Just needs a clear path. Let's get it there on that tank there. Hits the recon, knocks it out. Neo tank hits the regular tank there. Does spot, use the recon to spot the force, and then push the battlecopter forward. Very good. And hits the infantry unit there twice. And trying to flip some cities now. Hits the medium tank. Black Bow drops off some infantry units there. Double taps the mech. Hits that mech there. Prime tactics can now be summoned for double defense stars. And Lash goes for a full bomber. And serve 147,000. Kindle starts to earn 112, so Kindle is starting to fall behind there. Pops Urban Blight, which will hit that bomber quite nicely. Tank battlecopter. As the battlecopter hits the infantry unit there. Recon. Ready to reconnoiter area. Does not go for prime tactics last turn. Trying to capture that property once again. Booster strike on the A tier and finish it off. Kindle right now has 24,000 income. There could be argument for high society relatively soon. Turn to HQ race, you believe? Possibly, but Lash doesn't really have healthy infantry units nearby. And Kindle's infantry is all mechs. It's not gonna be a very fast race. You got mechs and wounded infantry units there. It's the recon. Does spot the medium tank there. Both players has 21 properties. According to this, that's probably a little bit inaccurate. APC tank mech. $148 ending, starts to turn 120, so Kindle actually has only ever slightly behind about 150,000 or 1,500. Does capture a property there, hits the A tier now. Yep, that number just had to be updated as well, because the difference between these two players' properties are very similar. Neo-tank infantry. There's still no proper counter to the bomber. Only a single A tier on the field, so there's pretty much no counter to the bomber if it heads down south. You now have prime tactics now summoned. Now her units do have perfect movement. It's the mech. It's the mech for double defense stars, double plus 60% firepower. Bomber finds the medium tank, knocks it out, and there's nothing down south to stop the bomber. Even if she were to pull out a fighter, it would be a very big delay on everything else. This Neo tank will have to advance cautiously, avoid the bomber, and is needed immediately. Recon infantry ain't here. It's not looking good for Kindle. The most you can pop Urban Blight to soften up everything. Just pop Urban Blight to soften up everything. Battle couple hits the couple units there. Mech is good strike there and there. After starting to catch property, hits the infantry unit there. Mech finishes off that one unit there. Double defense stars comes in handy. Recon hits the infantry unit there. It's the recon. Lots of good hits there. She needs to go goes for 8 tier battlecopter infantry. So be very careful with the Neo tank, because if it gets spotted, the bomber will basically take it out. 2F battlecopter could charge forward and just try to get some spotting done, which would probably be a good call. I would say put the battlecopter on top of this mountain top. That would be a good spotting spot. Less likely to trap somewhere. Looks like does not try to scout up ahead. And right now, Blue's force is just getting flanked and being picked off. Neo-tank infantry recon. 94,145. Lash has a pretty solid grasp in the game. Picks off a number of wounded units. Yeah, can't get the Neo-tank on top of the HQ because there's mountains away. Regular tank or medium tank trying to block the path. This artillery piece could enter the missile platform, just get, say, next to the medium tank. Both would be adequate. Or it just hits the resign button. As Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see. Actually, I don't need to make any adjustments. Before I get started, if you need the restroom, please give me a moment. My apologies, I'm back. And so, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on top left side is the Green Earth Drake. We've got Young and Mold. So on south bottom right side as Yellow Comet Summery, we've got Blood X Kane. This is a 3-base map, 1 airport. Let's see, 1 comm tower here. And I don't think I've ever casted a Sandy vs. Drake game before. This could be interesting. Sandy, of course, has double capture pressure, which can be very nice. And it may not necessarily be able to be interrupted by Drake's power and superpower, so he's got to be very calculus when it comes to that sort of thing. He has gone for an early recon. Sam's just going for infantry. Simon, of course, does lose firepower on all other units of foot soldiers by 10%, which is not too terrible, but does get +1 range for her transports. Oh, she's comm tower rush, which if she's able to secure both comm towers, even though she will have -10% firepower on ground vehicles, they will still, with both comm towers, they'll be +10% total. And Drake's ground units are completely and utterly ordinary. So if she's able to secure both comm towers, that'd be great. Recon spots the infantry on the comm tower. Sammy, let's see, 7,000 funds. Probably not a good idea to go for a tank. She does get +1 movement range for Black Boat. Don't know if that make a big difference. There are rivers here to help limit movement. She does go for artillery piece down south, so she may want to try to squeeze an artillery piece to go up here, or double infantry units there. Let's go for another infantry and recon. She should try committing something to keep that comm tower secure. She has 8,000 income, 1,000 banks, has 9,000 next turn, so she could go for a tank and double infantry, help protect the comm tower. Do you have now tank, infantry? Got a number of infantry units pushing way forward, and she does have artillery piece there, so putting perhaps 1,000 force to keep that comm tower secure is one method. There's also a decent number of this is a beach, which is traversable, this is a river, and this is deep sea. It's really, this color scheme is not that great. It's supposed to be like a Days of Ruin color scheme, but I think the beaches are blend in a little bit too much. It's too easy to notice the difference between shores and beaches versus sea tiles, honestly. Especially when they're away from each other like this. No contrast. Does not interrupt the capture there, remember. Double 50% extra capture speed, so 5 capture sparks for me, so she didn't it wouldn't be no even interrupt. Infantry, and another tank. Black Boat is starting to get a lot of fuel consumed, so you have to use an APC to get it refueled. There's no seaport here for it. It does have both comm towers secured, and this comm tower is not being threatened or protected by either player. infantry and mech for going for a decent number of mechs. Now got APC there to refuel this black boat. Not really a bad idea to go for a APC versus Drake either way, since he can just drain the fuel of these units. Tank, and commits base skip. Does get the black boat resupplied there. T-copter, infantry, and another mech. So we got a third transport. So we got the 3 different transports for Sammy. That's the maximum different transports you can get on this map. No seaport to pull out a lantern to make a 4th one. Or a cruiser or carrier to go along with 5 and 6. Does enter the range of the artillery, but does take a shot against the artillery. Sam doesn't have anything to really stop that tank. This tank's a little bit far away at the moment. Trying to capture this counter. Does get trapped there. Spots all Sammy's infantry, so the interrupt is likely. Infantry unit can get down to the forest, take a shot there. Mech can go from the mountaintop and fire down upon the infantry unit. And her infantry units right now do have plus 30% firepower, plus both counters, so they have plus 50% firepower at the moment. Spots what's in the foresters, then goes up, takes a shot, takes another shot, completely stops the capture. This tank probably pushed too far forward. A 6-off artillery piece with 2 comm towers is still going to put a hole in that tank. Good number of mechs over here as well. Drake has a good number of tank or infantry units to deal with the mechs, but still won't be great for him. The artillery piece decides to fall back there. Battlecopter, infantry, and mech. Sam does need a little bit more down here. Looks like this mech's going to be boosted into the transports and dropped off the front line. This mech does get double tapped. We got another mech in reserve. This mech can take a shot against the unit on from the bridge. Does get trapped there. Takes out those units there. Units out of range for capturing. Another mech ready to load up that black boat. Tank down south. Another mech. Sam's going for a very healthy number of mechs. She currently has 6 versus 0. Drake's now taking shots against that pipe seam. Medium tank infantry. Sammy does have enough for a bomber or for a neo tank. We'll not see either this turn. There are a number of units pushing their way forward. Mech infantry. Trying to flip this property. And Sammy just has great control up north, which this purpose of the infantry just meant to keep this comm tower secured. Then she can simply start getting good units over here. Boosted units. Does have an artillery piece in range of comm tower. She is lacking a bit of firepower down south. Drake has great presence down here. Always stops that capture. But now that tank's in range of this mech, which is not good. Medium tank finishes off the pipe scene. Trying to flip some properties in the center. That can be interrupted by nearby infantry unit there, which all appears to be out of vision range. I don't know why. It seems like the power charge is turn 13. Usually there's more power charge by now, right? Oh, but either way. Does get a good shot there with the mech. Interrupts the capture. Does have double time available. She doesn't really need it this turn. Double time is a power you should actually keep on the table. Victory mode is just nice. It's very, very good. But double time, able to make all your infantry units just go from plus 30 to plus 50% firepower and give them plus move range is actually pretty nice. Situational, but still pretty nice. Mech is a good strike there on that tank. Tank will finish it off. Mech, infantry, and battlecopter. This black boat's starting to run low on fuel again. Drake's black boat has 3 fuel remaining, does consume 1 fuel per turn, so he needs to bring in APC and push way forward. Actually, that may even not be enough time, because next to APC, then it'll be down 2 fuel, then needs to move forward, then be down to... he needs to pull out APC this turn to save the black boat. Mech goes on down. Mech in range of medium tank. Artillery push way forward. So it looks like black boat is just going to be sunk. Going to be scuttled because at the bottom of the beach. Because they ran out of fuel. Mech is a good strike there. Takes out the recon. Takes out that 1 health infantry unit there. Good shots there. We do have the Typhoon now available. Victory March is almost available. There's the HQ. I have a bit of a pet peeve. Versus Sami, you should try to keep a unit on top of HQ at all times. Even if basic infantry unit there, just spend the Victory March to just march over and win the game. And she can start pushing forward with a lot of her infantry units there. Try an eye for a Victory March to catch up a lot of properties. Because she will likely get deployed out next turn. Artillery, infantry, mech. 17,000 income versus 19, but we've got 2 comm towers, so I think that's a bit more important than having 2,000 less income. Here comes Drake's Typhoon, making both players pretty blind. Tank, infantry, pretty quiet turn. Our infantry units still move at full pace in the rain. Tanks, not so much. Tanks just, and ground vehicles effectively have, what, half movement speed? Yeah, that still seems like a bit more. It should just get reduced, let's just leave it at that. Don't know, can't remember the exact amount. Battlecopters hits that medium tank twice with the mech. Did not get a bit of repair there. I'm sort of surprised the APC didn't get repaired up or refueled from this nearby black boat to start on turn. Oh well. T-Copter needs to start firing when the APC or the black boat to get repaired. Or resupplied, I should say. Mech and recon battlecopter. Very close to Victory March. 99,000 versus on the field versus 99,000 on the field. So pretty even in that aspect. There goes the T-Copter. Victory March is now available. This 1 health infantry unit can still capture property. Sami's turn. Good chance for a Victory March this turn. Here comes a Victory March. This unit can, say, move all the way to the city and capture it. But let's see. This city can be captured. Yep, looks like this mech can go and capture the city. There's going to be a lot of properties captured this turn. 18,000 income. 19. Oh, decided to take a shot there. This one please capture that city. Mech is a good shot there. Takes out the anti-air 1 shot. Captures there. 20,000. Another property captured. Hits that infantry again. Gets a mech on top of the city. Hits that tank twice. Now that city infantry unit there can capture that property. 22. It's the artillery. Needs to interrupt this capture. That should be simple enough. Takes out that unit there. Maybe better. Let's see. Nope, this one can't range the city there. Tank hits the tank. Tank hits tank. Interrupts the capture. It looks like that's going to be all the captures. So, captured a good amount of properties and got a good amount of damage done as well. Helicopter, infantry, mech. And Black Boat does run out of fuel. Insert for 94,000 versus 76. 13,000 funds, so spent a... Oh, wait a second. I was so focused on how many properties she gained, I forgot to realize how little properties, how many properties Drake lost. So he's down to 14,000 income. That's the part where it's starting to get dangerous for Drake. In these maps where there's like about supposed to be like a handful of properties, a little bit on the smaller side properties of each, losing one property is quite significant, and now there's a 4 property flip change. That's catastrophic levels of losses. So right now, Drake has a good amount of forces up here. Sammy's starting to run a little bit low. And if he always pops Tsunami, just causes more issues to his opponent. It's the battle copter twice. Mech gets a good shot there, and Tank will finish off. And Drake's starting to get disintegrated down south. He has very little down there. Sammy goes for a full bomber. So Sam's going to either tech up with her economic advantage. All she needs to do is worry about full health anti-air and a 4 health anti-air, and then the bomber just reigns supreme. Recon, infantry, and anti-air. Another Typhoon's almost available. So the Black Boat may want to follow the bomber for a little bit with the change of the superpower. Now we'll get it repaired, but resupply the fuel. Resupplies the fuel and of that battle copter. Typhoon's now available. Artillery still in range, a couple infantry units there. Battlecopter is getting pretty low on fuel and ammo. Mech does go for another APC. Leaves 10,000 funds the bank, so she's going to keep her monies up to get something more valuable next turn. Who knows how much she's going to have left over. Calls her forces down to 91,000 versus 71,000. Get some good hits there. Lord just getting damage from various stuff. Put some machine gun around the pipe seam. Anti-air, recon, infantry. Mech hits tank. Mech hits tank. Tank hits tank. Bomber slowly advancing its way forward, but not in supply range of the Black Boat. Artillery, mech, and battlecopter. Hits the tank. Get some good clean up down here. Sammy's starting running a little bit low down south when it comes to units. Does have vision of the bomber, so ATR's just got to be in a position to help us strike that bomber. It's top of forest there. ATR, tank, and infantry. 15,000 versus 22 or 21. Does spot the tank there. Back finish off the unit there. Infantry unit hits, or battle cop hits the infantry there. Infantry fuel. Strikes his pipe seam, 23 health remaining. Recon, mech, battlecopter, and recon. Here, mech and infantry. Mech is good strike the recon, knocking it out. Lots of hits there on that anti-air. Artillery strikes the recon. Use for another mech. Teacup is on the 17th field. Mech. Was around Type C, 1% HP remaining, so even a infantry unit can take that out. Or maybe to say this recon. Hits the mech, trying to capture it up. It sees the mech there, takes it out with the A-tier. And with the amount of mechs on the field, A-tiers are probably a perfectly fine option, not to mention they also hit all the air units that are flying about. So the A-tier heavy composition right now from Drake is a good call. Victory March is available. He did end a tank on his HQ at the end of the turn, which is very important in my opinion. Victory March will soon be available. It's the recon or artillery there. Probably a good idea to start charting forward infantry units there, just to eye them to get on top of properties. After all, can't stop all the wounded infantry units there from capturing up the property. Not to mention as well, look at this. Sami only needs 4 properties before she wins a property victory. Mech, tank, and battlecopter. Though that's actually maybe a little bit more difficult. Actually, no, that's possible down here. There's 4 properties here she could claim to win the game as well. Though this mech would be out of range. No, could probably reach this city there. This one won't be able to reach this city. Just things that she could keep in mind. Either way, capturing a whole bunch of properties even more so would definitely hurt Drake's economy even further. Double hits that mech, takes out the infantry unit there as well. Line another or quite a bit of capture opportunity. This could be a good time for a Victory March. Captures will not be great. Firepower bonuses would be great, but be able to knock out both these A-tiers. Oh, just a double time. Decides to skip out a little bit, which is not a bad idea. Hits the anti-air twice. Hits the anti-air once. Mech tank. Mech here again, the teacup next turn. Double mech and get inside the black boat, or mech into black boat, mech into the APC. Pops the superpower to damage everything. Summery has 109. Drake has right now 53, so Drake's not doing all too well at the moment. Try and flip some properties. Simon's halfway to her victory march. Black boat definitely needs to repair up the bomber again. Has this bomber even got a single kill so far this game? No, Drake's been going for a good number of anti-airs, that's for sure. Anti-airs, of course, good versus mech and bombers. Battlecopter and triple mech. No anti-air to stop this battlecopter. It's a bit of a problem right now with Sami. He's that battlecopter there. Takes off some wounded infantry units there. Sami's turn. 123,000 for 72. It's that recon. It's the recon. Does not take out the anti-air. He drops that capture and slowly stops it, taking out the anti-air. Bomber has been resupplied, not rehealed. Bomber's gonna take the shot against that tank there, giving her tank more free reign, sacking the bomber for the tank. In this situation, it's probably perfectly fine. The bomber has not been doing much this entire game. The tank will have a bit more presence, so could get shot by the mech if the recon gets knocked out. Victory March is now available. This mech let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This mech is in range of the HQ. But there's also another more possibilities of 1, 2. Yep, that'd be 2. This would be 3. I can see 3 captures right now. There's 4 captures. There's 4 captures range. There is a possible win condition for Sami capturing this property and these 3 here. But this one could be a little bit difficult since not a lot of fire supports nearby to take out the anti-air. She may be trying to push forward and prep for the victory march. She's going for it. Anti-air take out the battlecopter. Capture those properties. Not going for HQ capture. I still don't see. She's probably gonna get herself trapped there. That does get at least a good shot there. Hits the anti-air there. Howdy. Sorry, I just got a little bit focused on the possible victory march victory. Recon, battlecopter, and mech. 24 out of 25 properties. 12,000 income versus 24,000 income. This is not looking good for Drake. Yeah, he decides to hit the resign button because it was not looking good for him. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see now. This one. I already did this match. Yeah, I already did this matchup. Let's find a slightly different one. Could save that one for another time. I already had this match as well. Just did this map as well. Here's the one I was wanting to look at. Different COs. Just need to adjust this. That looks better. There is a link to my Gmail down below. Plus, if you just want to type in the replay number into the chat, I will just simply cast it next. If you're also referring to Advanced Wars by Web. If it's another game, I'll be doing that to other games later on this week. Yep, looks like this should be good as well. Yeah, you could just simply say the, what is it, 10-digit or 6-digit, or was it 7 or 6-digit game number? I'll just simply copy and paste that into the web browser and it should be able to pull up no problem. Oh, Code Games, Come Heroes. Sorry, my dyslexia. Yep, you could just simply Gmail me. That's in the description of the replay, like a link to Games Replay or the replay file itself. Either way, let's get started. Greetings everyone, Angrade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on the north side is the Green Moon Sasha, we got Mordio. So on the south side is a Purple Lightning Starflash, or Javier, we got Starflash 250. This map is a 3-base map, 1 seaport, 1 airport. This seaport, let's see, 1 compound on both sides, so Javier is effectively going to get additional 10% defense. But to be frank, his more powerful aspect I've been starting to more appreciate more against Custom is his indirect defense. His indirect defense effectively nullifies your opponent's possibility of deploying out artillery. Because if you combine that with the 1 comm tower, you effectively have plus 3% indirect defense. And you're not going to take much damage with that much extra defense there. Recon Rush interrupts this capture, very nice. Of course, we could see retaliation from Javier. And when it comes to between these 2 seals as well, of course, got Mark Crash up to deny Tower Shield and Tower of Power. But since those are not super powerful seal powers, it's effectively giving an additional plus 10% offense defense with a 1 comm tower, with of course acting power and super power, so it's effectively plus 20 and plus 30. Not super powerful, so this actually may be a matchup where War Bonds is possible, not necessarily great. Tank deployed on the field, another recon. Javier's recon straight forward, gotta avoid this tank, yes it does. He may counter his own tank. Over on this side, could eye for artillery. There's a number of mountains in order to help cover the range of artillery. Of course, there's always battleships, which Sasha should not be going battleships against Javier. It'll at least provide a pretty good firepower at least. I don't know how ineffective battleships are versus Javier. Oh, looks like Javier does commit base skip and goes for tank infantry. 9,000 versus 11,000 income. Sasha does, of course, get plus 10% income, which is very powerful. A lot of captures by Javier. Hits that infantry unit twice. May lose a tank there. He's probably going to go for a tank here, but that'll still be out of range. So he's going to be stacking a tank for, don't think enough gain, honestly. Tank, infantry. Yeah, looks like he's going to be sacking a tank. This tank's coming along the flank. Does get a good shot there. I suppose defense didn't come out. The extra 10% defense actually did pay out quite a bit there. I was effectively taking a shot on top of a unit on top of a city. Javier does have a good day-to-day passive. Does take a shot from open road. Machine gun shot there from infantry unit there. Another pair of infantry units there on the strong side. Interrupts capture there. Marker crash is available. Tank there. Pops marker crash immediately. It does fully sap the charge there. Probably got some shots there before engaging to help put away more power charge. Of course, she does get plus 10. Excuse me. Battlecopter, tank, commit base skip, and infantry. There's a coin flip. What happens right here? 5 capture progress remaining, so it does get interrupted even further. Interrupts that capture as well. Use the tank to take out the tank. Hits the infantry unit twice. Both players have 14 properties. Of course, Sasha has more income. Make that 15 now. Some good hits there. Infantry, and tank. Leaving 5,000 in the bank. 41,000 versus 55. So they're staying pretty neck and neck, but got a nice double tap there on the tanks. We have now a tower shield available if he wants an additional defense, which could be used to help protect himself from this tank here. But he will be taking out that double tap in that tank there, means he is going to let this property get captured, which probably could have took the shot from this force there to not allow that to happen. So that may have been an oversight. Looks like he does go ahead and trap this tank here, at least from this side. He can still escape down this way. Don't know if that'll do any good. Has to recon twice and thrice because the 1 health tank did not finish it off. Battlecopter straightforward. Large mountain tops there, so it looks like it is staying out of range of the 8th here, so good placement. Battlecopter, or no, tank, so triple tanks. Javier could pop tower shield. He probably should eye the pop power or superpower sooner rather than later. He does pop it immediately. So he has additional plus 20 this turn. Trying to flip that property, gets a good shot on that one there. Oh, does do a bit of a join there. Tank has 10,000 funds remaining. Gets up that infantry unit there. And get some good shots and not take it out just yet. Finish off that one. Finish off that one. Tank infantry. Sasha's got to be a bit careful. She's going to be dealing with 30% extra defense all across Javier's units. Which is something that even Lash... wow, I just realized something. Javier's power is better than Lash's superpower in some aspects. Yeah, Javier is just much... The more I look at Javier, the better he is, looks like. I'm just always surprised at how well Javier does. On paper, it doesn't sound like much, but he is... Every time I look at him, he's better. Tank infantry. Because after all, Javier just got plus 30% of defense with that, and plus on total... On all of his effects, he got plus 30% defense in total, plus 20% offense. Or 30% defense. I'm probably butchering all my terminology. But one comm tower, he is actually somewhat comparable to Lash. Tank infantry. Granted, it's probably not a 1-1 comparison, but still. And looks like this property will be captured next turn. And the Battlecopter finds another good spot away from the anti-air. Of course, it can't get any shots off in that spot. And it's basically playing Ring Around the Rosie with a mountain, so it's not doing much. Medium tank, infantry. Storing up power charge is a good idea. Looks like a 16,000 versus 16 properties versus 15 properties. 16,000 for 16,500. And this seaport's almost captured as well. Fully surrounds the Battlecopter and puts the Ether in a good position to help engage it. And I see no way of that Battlecopter escaping, so it's probably best to take a shot against the tank on the plains, rather than the 9 health tank on the forest. Because it'd be 18 defense versus 10% defense. Though Tower Shield, or his passive, also makes the defense even greater. Does go for Mark Crash there. Does crash quite a bit. Sasha has a good core of tanks here. Javier may need to go for medium tank to help stabilize this region. Good hits on this tank there. Javier's pretty close to a Tower Shield. Medium tank over here. Got an artillery piece. There's a number of mountain tops for the artillery to hide behind as well. I shot that infantry there from the city. This tank should probably just keep its distance. There's too many tanks nearby. Hits the Battlecopter. If he has the possibility of popping Tower Shield, it'd probably be a good idea to pop it. Tank infantry. Help resist the counterattack. But right now, these two tanks I think are way too exposed. Both these things could get double tapped. Nope, got another Mark Crash immediately. She only has 12,000 funds of bank, so it's not a great market crash. This map is a little bit economically sparse. We've got some despicable neutral properties in the field, and Javier has got these two properties over here as well. We'll hit the artillery. It will be able to shell the medium tank next turn. And Javier is taking quite a bit of beating. 93 versus 67 with 15,000 bank, so he's about a turn behind. Interrupts the capture, can interrupt both these captures. Did not take a shot at the medium tank, we'll take both the things here. Put the 1 health infantry in there to block the path of the medium tank, very nice. Good shots on that tank, good shots on that tank as well. More crashes 700 funds out of 28, so there's an argument he can hold on to it. What's he gonna hold on to it? Tank infantry. Does take out the tank there, trying to flip it now. Does see the medium tank in range of the artillery piece. Of course, they won't be hit by regular tanks there, so it's not gonna be great. Tank infantry. Pops the Tower Shield. Artillery's this infantry there. 3 capture marks remaining, so it's not interrupted. This infantry unit may be interrupted. It did, and actually somehow survived. How did it survive? Excuse me one moment. I would assume... It doesn't show the 2... it doesn't show the 2%, so what's the chance of 2%? 8 to 9, so this thing must be at full 10% in order, or she rolled low and it was at 9% health. It barely survived. I'm just sort of surprised this thing survived. It's like, of all the mathematical calculations, how did that survive? We'll be able to interrupt the capture over here. Tank infantry. One capture box remaining and does get fully joined, so it needs to fully wipe it out. It needs to be fully stopped. Does get some critics there on these infantry there. Tank on tank. Of course, there's a bit of a choke point, but thanks to extra defense, the tank did weather the storm. This 5 health tank maybe will take up the 5 health infantry unit there. But of course, this 9 health tank will have to move out of the way. Maybe take a strike against this tank. Artillery, tank, infantry. So she is going for artillery piece. It's going to have trouble, though we'll have good coverage. Takes the recon, hits the tank there. Hits the infantry unit on the mountain top. Artillery gets a good shot there on the medium tank. She's going to go for the medium tank rather than trying to interrupt the capture. He cannot interrupt it. Or fully stop it, I should say. Let's go battle copper down south. Tank infantry. Battlecopters will be useful. There's a lot of mountaintops on this map. A lot of one-tile choke points. So battlecopters do play quite an important role to able to flank and able to hit a choke point from the side and actually flank it. Oh, got a more crash there. And starting to capture the despicable neutral property. 16 properties each at the moment. Medium tank does fall back. Or tank anti-air infantry. It's those targets there. That tank gets double tapped. This one could be finished off by the 4 health tank. I thought that property gets a good hit there on the infantry unit there. We'll get another shot onto it. So I flip that property once again, hits the regular tank there, pops the tower shield, making it so Sasha's counterattack will be not as effective. I think that was a good call for the tower shield. See, the front lines are smashing each other. That extra defense will go a long way, or make his units go a longer way. 82,000 versus 75, so Sasha's about a half turn behind. Does capture property. Interrupts that capture slightly. Medium tank straight forward. These tanks are taking a pounding. Mech tank infantry. Market crash now available. Medium tank infantry. Picks off some wounded tanks there. Market crash gets popped. Another mech. Battlecopter infantry. Instead of 90,000, Javier starts turning to 72, so it's starting to fall slightly behind. Mech is a good strike there. Artillery does tag the medium tank again. Finish off that unit there. Tank will strike anti-air. Tank will strike anti-air. Tank will strike tank. These wounded vehicles and tanks just sticking around far longer than normally do. And this has been a strict brawl of everything. All these wounded tanks are just actually fighting far beyond their lifespan. Do you have this infantry unit there trying to flip the property? Medium tank and range the medium tank. It's also on top of the road, so it's not great there. But it's a 7 health tank there, which could be shelled by another 4 health artillery shot. Does win the coin flip there. Does get 2 points of damage on that battlecopter. Pulls back up here. Infantry, tank, infantry, and battlecopter. 84,000 for 74. Javier is starting to stabilize. Good tank conflict. Great maneuvers there by Javier. Finish off a good number of tanks. Even the medium tanks charge way forward. It'd be a good idea to pop Tower Shield. Does pop Tower Shield. We'll have 9 health medium tank to strike him, plus nearby battlecopter. He needs the extra defense. 4 health artillery will be helping. And it has done decent work at 4 health. Don't get me wrong. Interior infantry tank. Got a couple of mechs there, which if he pushes forward and interrupts to capture that infantry unit there, it will be in range of a mech. Does strike the tank there. Interior is a little bit far behind. Infantry, tank, infantry. Does interrupt the capture, put the infantry unit nearby. Will not be able to join capture. Another mark crash available. Javier takes a first strike against the medium tank, trying to take the momentum in his direction. And has a mech and artillery to help support him out afterwards. Infantry, tank, tank. Does strike the tank thrice. Mark crash summon. Does not get fully geared with the power charge, but got good enough on. Hits the mech while at it. Interrupts the capture. Mech is a good strike there on that tank. Tank, infantry, tank. 17,600 income versus 18,000, so Javier is doing better income, and there's 2 properties. 10 capture, both in 10 capture progress remaining. Battlecopter will be knocked out. It's another battlecopter row. Takes out both these units. Artillery strikes the tank there. And does clear a path to the medium tank, but nothing to go to the medium tank. Interrupts the capture, hits this mech twice. Needs more infantry units over here. Join captures, join tanks, strikes tanks, and continues capturing. Tank, infantry, tank. We've got 2 possible captures next turn for Javier, and Sasha can't really spare resources to stop it. Got 1 point of damage, just 5 capture progress remaining, so that was not interrupt. That was interrupt. Now the full stop. Hits the tank there, hits the infantry unit there. The tank does strike the artillery. Tank, tank, infantry. 63,000 for 71, so Javier has more than a full turn in his favor. Fully captured profit there, 16,500. We got now Tower Shield now activated. Trying to capture the seaport, which he could eye for a battleship, which would be very difficult for Sasha to deal with. Strike the mech there. The mechs are. This mech is actually out of ammo. This one has 1 ammo. Tank, tank, infantry. So that's when we deal with mechs. You just simply get rid of the ammo. And Sasha does go ahead and resign his grade, saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay. I probably have time for one more replay for tonight, but I do need to use the restroom one last time. Please give me a moment. apologies, I'm back. Let's see, that was this one here. I'm not really a big fan of Sasha vs. Hawk matchups. Just what's this one? Definitely an interesting map. Hawk versus or Eagle versus Kindle. Give me a moment to adjust the screen a little bit. This map is a little bit wonky. I said that's pretty good. So let's go and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawned on the south side as the... what's this color again? Azure Asteroid Eagle. We got JTQWN. So on north side as the Fire Red Kindle, we got Alexa. And this map, I have no real idea to make use of it. Both players do start out with one black boat next to a shore there to head down south. Both players do have 2 HQs. I'm assuming 2 HQs means if you capture one, you win the game. Because most time with comm towers, you have to, or labs, you have to capture all of them. I don't know what double HQ means. If you lose one, I'm assuming you instantly lose as a counterpart. You have comm towers in the corner as well, so this double comm tower map got also airports there with a property to your opponent there. Looks like this overall is a 4 base. Actually, does interrupt the capture there. Got tank nearby. Wow, money's coming quickly. Wait, what's up with the money? This is standard funds, so I can see on top. Oh wait, I'm looking at the value on the field. I'm getting because the black boats. I got the black boats are providing weird income there. An early rocket? Wait, what? How did they afford a rocket? Is the extra properties you start out in the field getting the players that much income where we got early tanks and an early rocket? This map is getting a little bit incomprehensible already. It does get the capture. Keep on going forward, capture parts remaining. This tank can't interrupt, but will be sacked to get it. This infantry unit can start pushing forward over here, not heading to the south. Fully stops the capture there, but will lose tank in return. We do have a rocket down south. Kindle has a tank. This is a 2 base with 2 contestable bases in the middle. Okay. This is a map that's getting very out of hand very quickly, I'm going to say. Does double tap the tank there. This rocket will easily lock down the base. It's now have coverage there, so it can keep it from being captured. And if it does get captured, it can shell everything there. Double tank there. Push forward with a rocket. I don't think that's a good idea. Keep this away from the tanks. It is out of range, but not greatly. Granted, if the Kindle can manage to get a rocket on top of a property, it'll start nuking everything as well. More tanks. Starting to capture the airport. Resupplies that entry there with another resupply from Black Boat. It will be topped off next turn. Got 43 versus 44. Both players have a decent amount of income at the moment, thanks to the slow start for both players. They are able to get a lot of assets on the field quickly, and since it's only 2 bases, what little income they do have can be focused on 2 bases. So they're able to get a good small core of assets. It's when they get the airport, the players start seeing more infantry and battle copters. Can also want to capture up the airport as well. Another tank. Another tank. It's a double tank there by Kindle. We're probably going to see a battlecopter by Eagle this turn. Resupplies a tank. Does get a tank on top of the city there. Urban Blight could be a possibility. Rocket, however, providing some good coverage. This map is also pretty congested, so the rocket has excellent coverage. The rocket's not a bad choice on this map. I'm still having trouble comprehending this map. This map is congested and a little bit busy, honestly. Kendall does capture herself another comm tower. And a good number of properties now, 17,000 versus 15,000. Another tank up north, pulls back the wounded tank. Another tank down south. So she's still designing for a good number of tanks. Not a bad idea. But with the amount of congestion with the mountain size, the sea tile, there's not a lot of mobility. The rocket does pose a threat to one unit at a time. Kino's going to have both bases up north, so she could try to play defensive down south and then be aggressive by producing a lot of stuff up north. Of course, I got battle copters who can easily swing up north. And then she's making good progress catching up properties. This tank now pulling in the field as well. Artillery. Infantry unit in the corner, ready to interrupt. This game's gone to a little bit of standstill at the moment. This map does offer interesting dynamics. I think Eagle's considered a stronger CO. Lightning Strike is immensely strong. And see how skinny and how close the distances these two armies are. Lightning Strike will be devastating. High Society and Urban Blight both are very powerful. Strange enough, I think High Society may be a little better on this map. Due to the fact there's not many properties to push off of, like it's a little bit more of a dead man, no man's land in the center. Which is going to be hard to get her urbanized terrain benefits, so I think High Society may be a little bit better. Though it can be argument either way, she always can calculate how much damage Urban Blight itself will do. Interior Battlecopter. Yep, just a stalemate right now. Looks like Eagle's starting to transition to the southern part of the map. More artillery being put on the field. Kindle does have another space up here, so she has an extra base to work with. So she can be a bit more aggressive and start focusing down south. And she play maybe a bit more defense up north. Maybe a rocket of her own on top of the HQ could be immense. Her rockets on top of an urbanized property will start one-shotting everything. Infantry, battlecopter, artillery. Of course, Eagle's nowhere near a lightning strike, but once one big conflict happens, he will get power charged very quickly. Battlecopter, infantry, another anti-air. The extra base is being very important. She's starting to get a pretty good unit number count. Another rocket up here to help stabilize and defense. Unlike Kindle, he doesn't have to put a rocket on top of the HQ on some sort of urbanized property. Starting to threaten some captures. It's always a good idea to put some pressure on your opponent that way. 19,000 plus 17,000 income. Yeah, the longer the game goes on, it feels like Kindle is in the better position with her 2,000 extra income and 1 extra base production. But like I said before, this map is pretty congested, though Eagle does have a good amount of indirects. And Lightning Strike indirects can be immensely strong. You can either charge forward or double tap his opponent. Trying to capture more properties there, so slowly sitting ground to Kindle. 6 more properties, and she will win the game that way. She also has 3 comm towers, and movements get triple comm towers. And could actually start capturing the 4th. That is something, 3 comm towers are getting quite dangerous. If she captures all 4, Eagle might as well just surrender. Looks like Eagle's going to try to close the distance. Indirects are just producing nice backline core there. HQ is a little bit exposed. She's advancing. Got double rockets up north. I'll zone out the northern flank. And I don't really know what double HQ. I'm pretty sure double HQ means if one of them gets captured, you lose the game, right? If it doesn't mean that, then why not have two labs? Both black boats starting running low on fuel, 13 and 8. Looks like Eagle's trying to close the distance up down south. Capturing up this base now. Nothing threatening the comm tower. This comm tower is being captured. The drone capture could secure it. Eagle's very far from lightning strike. Drone captures. So it looks like Kindle may get all 4 comm towers. Sort of get some small skirmishes going. Rockets in range of some stuff, so maybe these two tanks need to sort of skirt around. Decides to fall back. The front lines collapsing into each other. In actuality, this force could be flanked. Rockets zoning it out. And Kindle does even have a infantry unit on top of that base and in range of artillery, or not artillery, rockets, which is a form of artillery, as in an auxiliary. Small conflicts here and there. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter. High society can be immense right now. She's going to have all 4 comm towers. 22 out of 26. Let's just say she does high society right now. 26 properties. That is 78% increased firepower plus 4 comm towers. She's looking at a like plus 100% firepower global bonus without urbanized terrain. Meaning her units will start one-shotting on equal footing. Even slightly better footing. Probably be like a tank shooting onto another tank on a force would be a one-shot. Actually, we could do that test there. Right now, how deadly would that be? 120 or 110% there. If it's on top of a forest. Wait, wrong one. If it's on top of a forest, it will still be a guaranteed one shot. And if it's on top of a city, it would not. But still. That's how powerful high society is right now. It's getting to ludicrous levels. Oops, my apologies, I hit my microphone. Eagle, of course, if she pops high society, Eagle's counterattack could be immense. It's all going to come down how powerful her high society is. Eagle's keeping its distance just ever so slightly out of range. Looks like she's going to pull back slightly up north. She's trying to probably wait out good positioning there. This black boat's 1 fuel, so will be sunk at the start of the next turn. Pops an urban blight. Interrupts the capture of the comm tower, so that's probably why she did it. Does go for Neo-Tank there. Battlecopter gets struck. Is he going to have enough to push forward for a lightning strike? I don't think so. Yeah, he's just moving over slightly. Black boat ran out of fuel. Lightning strike's now available. Goes for a full fighter. So it's going to come down to how well Eagle uses Lightning Strike. She still has an Urban Blight. She will lose a comm tower, which, to be fair, 3 comm towers is still plenty. And it looks like Eagle's not pushed forward for a Lightning Strike. He's just edging forward. Trying to push off Kindle off the map. Looks like Kindle may be launching an attack. Pops Urban Blight. Yep, Kindle's just does not want to do anything against this lightning strike. And Eagle can just simply push her off the map. She has to strike first. But she has having trouble striking first. So yeah, Eagle's just gonna push her off the map. And she just go ahead and resign. That game was a little bit lackluster. This is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. And that shall be my last replay for tonight.